Here we go. We're broadcasting. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our 3 p.m. Eastern Time webinar. We'll be starting our presentation in just a few minutes, but we wanted to connect, get everything going here a few minutes early, so that make sure everyone had video and audio, could hear and see us, and we got all settled in. If you have any trouble with your connectivity or your video or audio throughout the presentation, you can go, you see Sarah Chapman on screen and John LaPerche on screen. They are standing by to help anybody that has any issues with the platform. A couple other things I'll repeat throughout the presentation, but there is a chat bubble at the bottom of your screen, and you can click that chat bubble and join the conversation. And also there's a Q&A button at the bottom of the screen. As we go along today, it's presentation style, so you won't be able to, audibly ask questions, but you can ask any questions that might come up in the Q&A area at the bottom. And then if we can answer any of them, by texting or typing the answer, we will do that during the presentation. Otherwise, we will get to as many questions as possible after we get through with the presentation. So as many questions as we can get to, we will. And then after the presentation, the whole webinar is over, we actually will review all of those questions. A lot of times, because we have so many folks on, we may have some people ask the same question. So what we'll do is we'll kind of compile those together. We'll answer all of the relevant questions that, and post those answers in the support area, along with the facts that are related to this campaign or to this webinar. And we'll go over that a little more in detail a little bit later. So just a couple of more minutes and we'll get started. So hang tight. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Tracy, Chet, Sarah, John, Amanda.
Good afternoon.
So in case you haven't noticed, if you joined the 10 a.m. webinar, you'll see I'm the only one that did a costume change. And that's okay. It just shows my level of commitment to your satisfaction. Truth be told, I downloaded the 10 a.m. and my microphone was rubbing against my collar. And so every time I moved my head, it was like sandpaper. So I figured I better change shirts so the next, this one we could record for future use and people wouldn't have to hear that. So there you go.
And the real story is you squirted mustard from your sandwich at lunchtime all over your shirt. And you had
well, it would be below this line. So, okay, so we've got just about a minute or so. We've got a Q&A already. We've already got questions. So Sarah, that might be a question related to connectivity. I'm not sure. And then I'll be running the webinar today, but everybody else on the panel that you see here, they will have hopefully the opportunity to join in the conversation. I know that a lot of our regional directors were on this morning, and I think some of them are on this afternoon as well. And it's always nice to have them be part of our conversation. And so, yeah. So let's just click let's see, yeah, we got 10 chatting now. So just a little chat bubble at the bottom of your screen if you don't see it. So. And
David's being cute, making jokes inside the chat.
Who is?
David.
Oh, David Dotson, all right, the CEO. So, is he? Let's see what he has to say. I'm looking for some paneling. I was told to ask the panelists where I could get some. Hashtag dad jokes. That's perfection. Okay, let me close that panel out the way. Okay, so, okay, it's 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we should go ahead and kick things off. And to do that, I am going to ask Miss Tracy Long to take over. Tracy, it's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you guys virtually this afternoon, evening for some of you. I'd really like to just welcome all of our affiliates joining us today across the globe to our Facebook fundraising campaign webinar. We're so excited to support you in these efforts to raise funds and awareness for your local programs and really leverage this worldwide documentary premiere of the library that Dolly built. First, let me just introduce myself, since I'm probably a new face for most of you. Like Jacob said, my name is Tracy Long, and less than 4 weeks ago, I started with the foundation. Just to tell you how humbled and privileged I feel to be part of this amazing foundation, and your global team is really an understatement. I'm really looking forward to meeting and supporting each of you in the near future. So without delay, let's go ahead and I'm going to introduce our webinar leaders, which you've really already met, Jacob. Many of you know SD professionals who have been amazing partners with the Dollywood Foundation for over 20 years and have really helped the program evolve into what it is today. And although I haven't really worked with them very long yet, you know, I feel like their commitment and passion that I've already seen for what we do and what you guys do has just been evident from day one. Jacob Timmons, the founder and president of SD, will be our host for the next hour of the webinar. And him and his team will answer any questions that you might have and just really walk us through the process of setting that fundraising campaign up. So without further delay, let's get started and on your way to launching a successful Facebook fundraising campaign. Jacob?
Thank you very much, Tracy. I appreciate that. You know, we're so happy to have you climb on board the Imagination Express. And, you know, we look forward to working with you to make magic happen for many, many years to come. With that, hello, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook fundraising webinar. We're so happy to have you with us, and I hope that you are happy and most of all healthy. You know, COVID has made our world a little crazy, to say the least. We've all been working tirelessly to adapt to our new normals in our personal and professional lives. And had it not been for our current situation, this Facebook fundraising effort, it may not have happened. It's a way for us to adapt to ensure we continue to grow our programs by finding new and innovative ways to fundraise. Now, before I dive in, I need to do a little housekeeping. For those of you who have been on since the very beginning of the broadcast, you've probably heard some of this already, but I need to repeat it for everyone who's just joining. So as we go through today's presentation, you most likely will have questions. And again, if you look towards the bottom of your screen, you should see a Q&A button. And if you click that Q&A button, you can submit your questions as we go along, and our teams will answer as many of those questions as we possibly can when the presentation is done. Now, some of the more general questions, our team will try and type a written response as we go along. Now, if you have any problems with sound or viewing or anything else related to the Zoom platform itself, you see Sarah Chapman and John LaPerche on our panel today. They will be available to help you when they're not presenting. And they will be available, during the presentation when they're not presenting via the chat button. So you can just click the little chat bubble down at the bottom of the screen as well. Now, as you most likely have learned already, we'll be premiering a new feature-length film this December on Facebook. Now, the film is called The Library That Dolly Built, celebrating the people who made Dolly's dream come true. It's a documentary, and it'll premiere on Facebook December 9th worldwide, with special premieres in the UK and Ireland December 10th, and Australia on December the 11th. Now, why Facebook? Most of you may remember the Good Night with Dolly series just a few months ago. Now, this series was streamed across all popular social media platforms, but Facebook garnered over 15 million views just by itself, where other platforms that we streamed on garner just a few thousand. In addition to that, Facebook is willing to help us push the premiere out to the world, help us promote it. And we're all able to utilize the fundraising tools that Facebook provides with no fees involved. So the premiere, what's it all about? As I mentioned, it's the premiere of the all-new documentary about Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, and its complete focus is on you, the Imagination Library affiliate, you that makes it all possible. Seriously, I've been doing this for what I'm doing here right now. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I'm not even in it. So it's literally about you. Immediately after the film, now we'll have a live Q&A with Dolly Parton, none other, right? And yes, it's live, so people will actually be able to ask questions during the live event on Facebook, and Dolly will answer as many as we have time for. Now, once the Q&A is done, Dolly's gonna sing the DPIL, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, anthem that she wrote called Try. It'll be her very first Facebook Live performance. And so that's gonna be a significant moment for the Imagination Library, for our whole overall campaign, and for her actually personally. So in addition to the worldwide premiere, we will have exclusive premieres for the UK and Ireland and Australia in your local time zones on the 10th and 11th of December, respectively. Now, this gives us coverage around the world and gives our hardworking affiliates outside of North America their own country-specific premieres with country-specific content, which is going to be super exciting. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time in the history of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library that we will pull together the power and the reach of all affiliates from around the world for our global fundraising campaign. That alone is an amazing effort. But to have the documentary's premiere as a catalyst, coupled with live Q&A from our very own Dolly Parton, and she's singing Try. Now, all of this is strategically timed to come on the heels of her new Christmas album, which is actually already out, her new holiday movie, and just in time for the season of giving. This is going to be prime time for your friends, your family, your followers, and continuing donors to give thanks by giving. So hashtag thanks by giving. Now remember, this is a big note, the premiere is free to watch. Absolutely 100% free to watch, no tickets, no codes, nothing. Nothing's required. It's absolutely free. With that being hopefully very clear, we're gonna move on and dig a little deeper to the win. Now, to make this global fundraising opportunity the biggest success it can possibly be, we need each of you on board with all of the available tools at your disposal. Now, to make that happen, we put together a comprehensive tool set to help guide you from the beginning steps of setting up your fundraiser, nurturing it through the campaign, and using the marketing content we've created to help inspire, educate, and support each of you so that together we make this a big success. Now, the win on this fundraising is the timeline's going to be November 23rd through December 13th, 2020. The campaign will launch November 23rd alongside an international press release from the foundation. Now, we'll have the official release available to you ahead of the release date so that you can use it to make it your own for a local release for any press opportunities you might have. All releases will go out on the 23rd or after. Next, the how. We'll provide you with all of the available assets needed throughout the campaign. Now, this includes text copy, images, lots of awesome video links and cross-posting, which we'll get into later. And we'll have a main campaign calendar so that you can reference it, or your social media folks can reference it for publishing. And it'll be our complete calendar, and we will make sure that any content posted to or scheduled on the calendar relative to the premiere in this campaign will be notated visually. Now, the what, or the what ifs specifically. As I've mentioned, this is the largest online fundraiser campaign that the foundation has ever conducted. And of course, it's a global campaign. So go big or go home. So we expect there are gonna be some questions along the way. And we want each of you to know that we will be here to help you every step of the way so that together we make this a big success. Now, I'm going to pass things over to Sarah Chapman, our creative director here at SD Pros. And she's going to walk us through the new fundraiser toolset, which is now available in your BOS. So Sarah, take it away.
There we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome. So our goal was to design and create this new fundraising tool set, as Jacob mentioned, to inspire, educate, and support you in your fundraising effort. So for starters, we wanted to make it easy for you to quickly access as needed, which is why it is placed on your bulletin board. So here, there'll be a screen of your bulletin board here in just a second. So as you can see, there are three main icons in your portal: Inspire, Educate, and Support. Each contains a PDF with tips, tricks, and in some cases, links to actual assets and examples you can use during this campaign. Now we'll go through each icon. First, we have Inspire. This section provides the background to how this campaign was developed and stats to get you inspired to start up a campaign. Then we have Educate. There we go. Educate gets you started on the campaign and has information about how to set up your campaign by leveraging the fundraising tools available on the official Imagination Library Facebook page. It's a simple 1, 2, 3 process, and there's an infographic to guide you along. Finally, we have Support. This will contain links to assets, tools, facts, and a way for you to contact the home office for further information if you need it. And with that, I'm going to hand it back off to Jacob.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Let's see. So in short, your fundraising tool set contains, let me spotlight this video, contains all of the tools needed to create your fundraiser, nurture it for a successful outcome. Now, although online fundraising may be new to many of you, our goal is to make this as easy as possible so that not only is this a huge success for this particular fundraiser, but you also are able to take this knowledge and these tools in your efforts forward going on with future fundraising. So now to walk us through the value and making the most out of this fundraising opportunity, I'm going to pass this over to John LaPerch, our marketing director here at SD Pros. John.
Thank you, Jacob. This section is all about why this is an amazing fundraising opportunity. And it is just that. The way this overall campaign is constructed allows you to leverage the power of the Imagination Library brand, while also allowing room to personalize the content to your program's efforts. The timing of this campaign is ideal, since about 30% of annual giving happens in roughly the same time frame as this campaign. We've also included in this section some relevant stats about online fundraising and donations to give you important insights that'll help guide your efforts to the best possible end results. We can all agree that the Imagination Library is an amazing program, and with this inspiration in hand, I'm going to pass it off to my colleague Amanda Webb to show you how to put this plan into action. Amanda?
Thanks so much, John. So hello everyone. First of all, I'd just like to echo everything everyone else has said and tell you how excited we are to be a part of this and to really come alongside each of you to help your fundraising goals come to life. So let's talk a little bit about actually getting your campaign started. So here we have the campaign timeline. First, let's look at, this really simplifies the entire process. And I want you to look at the setup section on the timeline, October 8th through November 22nd. That setup phase is where we are today on the timeline, of course. You will be activating your fundraiser on November 23rd, and you will publish posts for your fundraiser between November 23rd and December 13th. Also, we have on the timeline here, the streaming of the film in North America will be December 9th, and then in UK on December 10th, and Australia on December 11th. So after the premiere, you can continue to receive donations and make posts through December 13th. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little later on. Finally, the foundation will apply donations to affiliate accounts through the end of December and into the first parts of January. So this is really just a summary of the timeline. I want to go over with you more in depth the setup section, the activation, and posting. And just as a reminder, again, the webinar is being recorded, and you guys will be able to get this information after we finish here today. But there's a lot of information, so let's begin. Let's talk about actually creating your campaign. So here we have the pre-campaign phase, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. And I know the overall thought of creating a campaign can be a little overwhelming, but if we break it down to the 4 W's and 1 H here, you'll get there quicker than you think, I promise. So just remember the who, what, when, where, and how. That's what we're going to focus on. So let's look individually at these. First, the who. This is your target audience. Now, if you do any day-to-day work with your social media accounts, you most likely already have a good idea of who your followers are. And if you don't worry. Facebook provides some insights into your audience through the Facebook Insight tools, and that's actually linked right there in the who line, and you can access that later on when you have this PDF opened up for you. It's important to get a good feel of who your audience is as you craft relevant content that you want it to appeal to those audience members throughout the entire campaign. Next, let's look at the what. Here is where you want to set your campaign goal. When deciding on the amount that you want to set, we recommend looking at the amount of money that it takes for your specific affiliate to supply books for 1 month or 2 months. Then look at the amount of your Facebook followers on your page, and then weigh those two numbers alongside of each other and see if you can realistically get to that 1 month worth of books or 2 months worth of books fundraising goal. Ideally, you want to set a goal that is, 1, achievable, but is also 2, a little bit of a challenge for your affiliate. Next, let's talk about the when. Here, we want you to think about when you will post content that supports your campaign in a way that coincides with the actual fundraiser timeline. Remember, in general, the Facebook peak usage times are 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. in your local time zones, of course, and 3 p.m. is being the largest spike. So again, 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m., with 3 p.m. being that largest spike of the day. Also, I want to point out this pro tip here. If you're not already doing so, we recommend that you plan out your posts on a calendar or spreadsheet in advance. We call this a content calendar. It can be a week in advance or 2 weeks or even the whole month in advance. It's much better when you can see your whole campaign schedule in one place, especially if you're a visual person like myself. I like to be able to see it all in one place. And this helps you to avoid having to open up your laptop once a week and having that stress, daunting task of coming up with great content on the spur of the moment, or, if you just feel like you have 30 minutes to do it. Really do it in advance and plan it out and use some sort of spreadsheet or calendar. In addition to creating your content calendar, some of you may also be using social dashboards to manage your content in a scheduler platform. And if you're already doing that, you can go ahead and fold in your fundraising posts alongside the rest of your content. And if you're not using a social dashboard, Facebook provides a great scheduling tool within the platform that you can utilize to schedule out posts in advance. And we recommend using that one as well. So you might be asking yourself, well, just how often should I post fundraising content in conjunction with my other content? So we're going to recommend that you split that 30% and 70%, with 30% being the amount that you want to do fundraising related content. So again, split your content, divide that with a 30-70 split, with 30% being your fundraising related content. Okay, finally, let's talk about the how here. A big part of running a fundraising campaign on Facebook is how you publicize it to all of your audiences. So you'll want to promote the fundraiser on as many of your social channels as possible. Also use your email subscribers and your website. So once it's up and running, think about how you can put it in front of as many people as possible. Think about when you drop a pebble into a pool and it creates those little ripples. That first ripple is going to be within Facebook itself. So you'll want to share your fundraiser on your personal page, of course, and then encourage your staff and other colleagues to share it on their pages. Also, if you have partner pages that you manage, consider sharing it on those pages as well. An example might be if you manage an Imagination Library page, and then you also manage a Rotary page, that would be a perfect relationship, especially if those pages have shared content in the past. And then this is something that you can continue to do, share your fundraiser on that secondary page as well. And just if you haven't shared content in the past, you may want to reach out and get approval just to make sure you're covering all your bases there. So really that covers the who, what, when, where, and how on our slide here. Let's move on to how your Facebook fundraiser will actually look. This is basically where you shine as a storyteller. We just talked about creating a content calendar. So this section provides us with tips on how to create great content. Many of you are already doing this because I see it out there. You have some great content, you're great storytellers. So what you want to do is think about how your story fits into the capsule of the fundraiser. So as a writer myself, I like to say this a lot. If you've been around me, you'll hear me tell other people, when you're writing content, social or otherwise, make a big effort to show people something as opposed to telling them something. So really look for those descriptive words that help you paint a picture when you're writing a post for your social media accounts, or writing an email, or if it's a blog on your website, any of those things. Lastly, on this slide, we want to point out hashtags. So because this campaign, as Jacob mentioned earlier, has such a global reach, it's really important that we all consistently use the same hashtags. One that he alluded to at the beginning of the webinar was hashtag #ThanksByGiving. And then I want to share another one with you, hashtag Dolly's Library Film. This one will be used by affiliates like yourselves, but then also within the film promotions for the documentary. So hashtag Dolly's Library Film is very important. And then I know some of you, or a lot of you, are using hashtag Dolly's Library and hashtag Book Lady. We use that on the main page a lot too. I like to write those down and put them near my desk so that if you are writing content, you don't have to try to remember, was that Dolly's Film or Dolly's Library Film? Just write it down and have it really accessible so you can remember that one. Also, I want to talk to you guys about cross-posting videos. While we're here on the topic of the film, there will be opportunities for you to cross-post the film's trailer and also some really exciting Dolly videos that will be available. Now, cross-posting just means that you can easily share these videos that we share from the Imagination Library page. You can share them organically from your own pages. Now, cross-posting videos is a big topic. So we will have a detailed document in the support center to show you how to cross-post videos on Facebook. So that covers our planning phase. Now we want to look at actually setting up your fundraiser, the campaign phase. So here we have steps 1, 2, and 3. So of course, you're going to want to launch your fundraiser on November 23rd. That's when everyone will launch at the same time. But you will want to walk through this process before that day, just so that you can see what it looks like and know what you will need on the day of. But really, the process is easy. And I want to pause for just a second and remind you guys that the process that we're about to explain to you does not require that you set up any financial connections to Facebook. So you don't have to link a bank account or credit card or any of those things, because the funds will be routed through the main Imagination Library Facebook page. So that's just a little side note, okay? And we're going to walk through these steps. Before we move from this slide, I want you to look at number 1. You could just go back one to the 1, 2, 3 slide. Thank you. Under number 1, facebook.com/fund/Dolly's Imagination Library. On November 23rd, when you go to set up your fundraiser, you're going to copy that link and paste it into a browser, okay? And then once it loads into the browser, you'll see something that looks similar to this. So the first thing that you'll want to do, we have circled this little arrow here. You'll click that and it'll create a drop-down menu. So the first thing that you're going to do is change the creator of the fundraiser to the Imagination Library affiliate page that you manage. So when you click that arrow, it drops down the list. If you manage several, you'll see them in there. If you just manage one, you'll see it in there. You just choose your affiliate, and then it changes the creator to match your affiliate page. And the next step in this process is you're going to edit your goal, which is the amount of money that you want to raise, and then also the deadline. We're going to set that for December the 13th. And then you're going to customize the fundraiser name and details. Now, we have provided some starter text in here for you, but you can go in there and edit that to personalize and customize to fit your affiliate in that story that we just talked about. Once you have those things in place, you will choose a cover image. Now, we're going to supply one in the support section for you, and some of you may have your own. That's okay too. So you'll choose your cover image, and then just below the cover image, you'll actually go ahead and click Create. But we're not done yet. So this is a very important step. So if you are taking notes, again, I'm going to pause just so that you can take a specific note right here, okay? So the last step is you're going to want to share the campaign link or the fundraiser URL with the Dollywood Foundation. Now, this is a critical step because it allows us to link the donations to your campaign, to your affiliate. So you're going to copy this Facebook URL, and you're going to copy it and hang on to it. And then you're going to send it to us via a Google form. So if we go back to our 1, 2, 3 slide, you'll see on number 3, we have a submit form button here for you. So after you've copied your Facebook URL, you'll go here, you'll click on that submit form, and it'll bring up a Google, I lost the word.
Form.
A Google form, sorry, thank you. And so you'll fill out the fields here and add in all of your contact information that it asks for, and then that Facebook URL. And then it'll submit on its own. So remember that step, because you're not finished until you've connected your fundraising URL. So I want to leave you with some tips for a successful campaign. So these are all really great. I want you to read through them later on, but let's just hit a few high points. Of course, you'll want to thank your donors. Thank you posts gives you an opportunity to not only show your appreciation, but it also allows you to put your fundraiser message out there in front of the faces of the people who are connected with the person that you're thanking. So again, remember those ripples. It gives you an opportunity to get it out there in front of more people. So remember, thank you posts. Also, you want to connect with like-minded people and organizations so that you again have more chances to share your cause and your story with those folks. Of course, make those community connections. Those are important. Also, this is a good tip in here. If you challenge people to make small donations in creative ways, and one example is just simply asking them to swap out their daily coffee for a small donation to your affiliate. Maybe you can ask them to do that on a weekly basis or maybe once a week for a month. And something small like that can really add up, and it's not a big inconvenience for them if they're just thinking of it as, well, I will give up my coffee for today. Of course, you'll want to post your updates consistently. We talked about that. And then this is important. Be sure to share the film premiere date often as a reminder of the premiere and also how it's connected to your fundraiser. So again, it allows you to put yourself out there in that global conversation and reach more people. Another thing that we have on here is to use your MailChimp subscribers and the email template that's provided to kick off your campaign. I do want to make a note here. I think Jeff might touch on this a little bit later, but be sure that you're not soliciting to the parents of registered children when you kick off using your MailChimp. And then one other thing that I did want to add here is when you kick off your campaign, it's always best if you can have some funds from people who have already maybe pledged money to your fundraiser. So something sort of in advance so that once you launch your campaign, you have some funds in there. So when people see it on Facebook, on their own feed, they'll see that your campaign's already off to a good start. And when it gives that sort of legitimacy, and also it kind of gives you them a sense of security that people are already investing in this campaign and they can kind of go with the flow. They wouldn't have to be the first. And really with that kind of brings my time with you to an end. I just want to thank you for your attention this afternoon and enthusiastically wish you the very best in reaching your fundraiser goals. We're really excited for you. And with that, I am going to turn things over to Jeff, and he's going to cover how donations are credited to your affiliate account. Thank you, and take it away, Jeff.
Thanks, Amanda. Hi, everyone. This is Jeff Conyers. I'm the president of the Dollywood Foundation, and I wanted to take just a few minutes here and go back and touch on a few key points about the financial piece of this that have already been covered, but I wanted to pull them out and highlight them again because we figured there'd be questions around this. So as you've seen from our team here, we've tried to make this as simple as possible. Literally with a few clicks, you can launch your fundraising campaign. And there's no need at all for you to set up any type of financial relationship with Facebook, which is usually a 2 to 3 week process. And the reason is because we're linking when you create your campaign, it will be linked directly to the Dollywood Foundation's campaign and directly linked to the Dollywood Foundation's account with Facebook. So when donors go on and give to your campaign, those funds will be land in the Dollywood Foundation's Facebook account. Facebook then will, within the weeks following, transfer those funds to the Dollywood Foundation, and we will apply those as credits to your affiliate account. And you'll see them populate in the billing support center that's been provided for you as credits to use for books and mailing or promo items. They'll just show up as credits on your account. So the really wonderful piece about this is that, of course, the Dollywood Foundation never charges any administrative fees for any of the work that we do. Even better on this particular relationship through Facebook is they're not charging any credit card processing fees for any of this either. So if I am a donor and I contribute 100 US dollars, go onto your Facebook page and I contribute 100 US dollars to your affiliate, you will receive a $100 credit in your account with us in the book order system. So the way that the actual way that process works is I contribute the $100. Those funds are held in the Facebook account for Dollywood Foundation. Facebook then transfers those funds to the Dollywood Foundation. They usually do that every 3 to 4 weeks, I believe. And as soon as we receive those funds, we will apply those credits right onto your account with us. And again, they'll populate in your account, in your billing portal, in the book order system. So again, we think this is a really nice, clean, easy, simple way to do this, and it allows everyone to participate with the Facebook page with us. And so we hope this is going to be wildly successful, and we're so glad to have you all joining us on this adventure. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Jeff. And thanks to Amanda and Sarah and John and all the rest of the team. Oh, and of course, Tracy. Before I close, I want to commit to you that just as we've done for over 20 years, our team will be here to support you, each of you, along the way. And as you've seen in your in the tool sets here, the support section that we've been reviewing, we've worked together to create a comprehensive facts, and we expect this to be a living document as we will update it as we all work through this campaign together. It's going to be available at support.imaginationlibrary.com for your social media folks who may not be BOS users. But of course, it's also going to be available in your BOS bulletin board. Now, the actual tool set is already available in your BOS at the bulletin board. And then we'll be adding the facts either later today or tomorrow. We've got a lot of questions that we are answering from our 10 a.m. webinar. And we'll probably add some from today's webinar as well to that facts area. With that, before I close, if you have any questions, click the little Q&A button down at the bottom, and we'll answer as many questions as we possibly can as time allows for. So if you have questions and you haven't asked them already, go ahead and click the Q&A at the bottom, and I'll wrap things up real quick while you do that. So everyone here at SD Pros and of course at the foundation, we're excited about this amazing opportunity, and we look forward to working with each of you to make this an incredible success. I mean, this is a movie premiere coming on the heels of a movie premiere, coming on the heels of Dolly's first Christmas album in 30 years. And she is just going all out, giving us the Imagination Library exclusive time for the live Q&A and the live performance of Try, the Imagination Library's anthem. And she's been working with us for the last several weeks and months, actually providing or creating content for us, and we've been producing clips for her with her to help with the promotions along the way. So this is going to be big, and this is extremely exciting. I'm so happy to have been part of this program long enough to see it where it is now, to see the teams growing with the foundation, and to see all these new faces, and to have Tracy be part of the team. It's just an amazing, amazing program to be part of, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm very honored to still be part of something that's so special for so many, and it's because of each of you out there. So thank you. And with that, I'm gonna hand it back over to the panel here. We'll all join in the conversation together, and we'll do some of the, or try to answer some of these questions that y'all have. So give me just a second, and I'll start going through the questions with you. All right, here we go. All right, looking at the Q&A here. We got a lot of questions. Got a lot of chatters too. We have 49 in the chat. I think we peaked at a little over 160 folks. That's a good crowd for 3 p.m. on Wednesday. that's a good size crowd. Okay, let's see what we got here. When you say it will be an announcement, sent out, is it sent out to every family, or is that our responsibility? Jeff, you want me to pass that one over to you?
Sure. Yeah. I think the short answer is it's all of our responsibility. That's the challenge, I think, is to share this as broadly and as widely as we can. To answer your question directly, yes, we will be sending out communications on our channels. That includes email newsletters, but also on our social channels, as well as all of the public media things that Dolly will be doing to announce that the documentary is going to be available, and it's going to be free for folks to watch. When folks go to our social channels to engage with us there, that's when they will see the invitation for them to support our work. They'll see the invitation on on our channels, inviting them to support you locally, and hopefully when they go to your Facebook page, they'll see your invitation for them to support you as well. I want to be clear though, just to reinforce something that Amanda said earlier, please do not send an email to parents soliciting them for donations. That is a big red no for us. We've never done that ever since the beginning of the program, so I want to be crystal clear on that. But yes, absolutely feel free to communicate to them about the documentary and when it's going to be playing, and we will do that as well.
Jeff, I got two more for you.
Okay.
Hot demand. So the money we raise will go to the Imagination Library and will be credited back, ? Will this be in the form of a book credit only? And then I have a second part to that.
Sure. Yes. The way again, I probably already answered this, but real quickly, the fund mechanism is it does go to the Dollywood Foundation account, as these campaigns are all linked. And then we will apply those as credits onto your account. They can be used for book and mailing. If you have promo items or something like that, those credit balances on your account may be used for those as well. But yes.
And if I could just add to that before we get to part two, it is absolutely critical that you follow the steps, provide your fundraising link as described in the steps. If you do not do that, there's no way for us to match those funds and credit your account. So the second part of that, Jeff, was what if we have two Imagination Library affiliate accounts, one that the state pays and one that we pay locally?
Okay. I'm going to interpret this two ways. One would be, so for those of you who may not be aware, we have some states that participate with their local affiliates in a match model. So they may be, the state maybe puts up 50% of their book bill, and then our local partner provides the other 50%. In those cases where the state is paying us collectively for all of the affiliates in the state, obviously you won't see a credit that shows up in your account. However, we will transfer those funds to the state to maintain that normal financial process that we have in place, but they still will be credited to your affiliate. So you still will receive those funds as credits for your local affiliate, and they will go towards your 50% match. When you say that, Katie, when you say you have one that you pay locally, I'm not sure if I've answered your question there with the match part, because again, just to reiterate, the funds that are raised for your local affiliate, even if you're in a state where you're have the benefit of a state match, they still get credited towards your local 50% match that your affiliate, that your community is coming up.
Now, this next one, I can jump on there. So it says, Carol says, is there a report we can receive to know how much we raise? There's when you create your Facebook fundraiser and execute it, Facebook will provide you with a running tally of how much you are making in that fundraiser, and it will give you a total when the fundraiser is complete. And then that same total will be reflected in the billing section of your book order system once the credits are applied to your account. So you'll be able to match those two things up. And then this one, we had several folks ask this at 10 a.m., the 10 a.m. webinar, will we get donor information other than just a name? So any information that is provided will be provided via your Facebook page platform, because the Facebook fundraiser will be set up using your affiliate page. So your affiliate page is in control of that fundraiser. So all the donor information collected will be accessible via the data that's accessible via your Facebook page. All right, and that was from Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. If I set up something like Julie's fundraising, this is from Julie. If I set up something like Julie's fundraising page, how do you know which affiliate I'm part of? So Julie, with that, following the steps that we've outlined in today's webinar, and also available in the tool set and the book order system, and will be available in the help center as well. You follow those steps by creating your, when creating your fundraiser, using the link that we provide. At the end of the steps of creating that fundraiser, you will be given a URL, an address that, like when you get done creating the fundraiser, you'll be able to share that fundraiser with your fans and family and friends. That same link that you're sharing with everyone, that's what we have to have. And we provided in the documentation a link, a form that Amanda talked about, that you click on, it opens up a little form. You give us that fundraiser link that you've copied over from Facebook, along with your affiliate information, and then we take that and we match it. We match it together so that we know this is the affiliate, this is their fundraiser, and these funds that are raised go to this affiliate. So that's how we do that. It's very important that when you create the fundraiser, you just don't go to Facebook and create a fundraiser. You need to do it by the guidelines we've set so that it all is credited as it should be. Because if it's a fundraiser that you create and it's not connected to the Imagination Library page, it's not something that we can track or credit. It'll be something completely different. All right. We've got enough time for a few more, a couple more at least. Looking here, Susan, does Rotary International still have an official relationship with the Imagination Library? Not Jeff, you want to take that one?
Yeah, in short, I'll say this real quickly. I'm happy to connect with you offline. We do indeed have an international relationship with Rotary. Still great partners. They've restructured how they work with their partners a little bit, but yes, we do.
Okay. And I think I can answer this one, Jeff, from anonymous attendee. To clarify, the donations made will be credited to our accounts from the with the foundation instead of receiving a check, and the answer to that is yes.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. And where do we find the bulletin board? Janelle asked, where do we find the bulletin board? As a book order system user, when you log into the book order system, it's the very first page you come to. That's your bulletin board. If you're not a book order system or a BOS user, then you can find this documentation at support.imaginationlibrary.com. support.imaginationlibrary.com. And that should answer your question as well, Christine. And John LaPerche, can you speak to how we will get the list of donors? I've not heard them discuss this point yet. Thank you. I think I've addressed that, but do you have anything to add, John?
No, that was it. You addressed it earlier.
Okay. All right.
Some communities are looking for information about the premiere on DVD, like we were going to do originally back in March or so. So where they can't get it online.
So that's, I think that's a question that would have to be answered offline. Is that right, Jeff, or do you
Yes.
have? Okay. Okay. So Ruth asked, will there be a media campaign on your end, newspapers, news, etc.? So Jeff, you want to take that one?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best parts of this. The reason we've positioned this documentary in this time frame, as I think quite a few of these folks have touched on, John said at the very beginning, 30% of all giving happens right in this window of time out of 12 months out of a year. This holiday season right at the end of the year is one of the key giving periods. We also have one of our greatest assets, if you will, who is going to be out there live and in front of a bunch of people at this time, and that's Dolly Parton. She's promoting a movie called Christmas on the Square that's going to be coming out on Netflix at the end of the month. She has a new Christmas album out. She's going to be doing talk shows and many, many media interviews, and she's going to be promoting all of this work, and including the documentary that we are going to host on the 9th, and is going to be promoting and talking about that as well. So yes, absolutely. We will be promoting this on all of our media channels and including all of Dolly's channels as well.
Okay, we got time for one more, and it was just recently asked, although we've addressed it a couple of times. So I'm going to give it back to you, Jeff, so we can kind of reiterate and offer some final clarification. So Julie says, is it okay to reach out to current registered families to share photos and or their stories to help promote the fundraiser?
Is it okay to reach out to families?
Yeah, like parents of registered children.
To promote the documentary?
To promote the fundraiser.
No, please do not fundraise, even hint at soliciting from parents. We've been very clear with them when they registered for the Imagination Library that we will not ask them for money. And I think that really hurts all of our brand and trust if we go back on that at some point and even act like we're asking them for money. Please do not email parents and suggest that they give to the campaign. There are many, many other channels in your community that you can use to do this. You have your Facebook page. Reach out to your local media, reach out to your local newspapers, television, all the media outlets around you, friends, family, you name it. But please do not solicit parents. Yeah, invite them to enjoy the documentary, let them know what's going on. If they go to your Facebook page and want to read about the campaign that you have going on and all that, that's great. But please do not send them an email and ask them to participate in your fundraiser.
I think that's clear. Thank you, Jeff. Listen, I want to thank all of y'all for connecting with us today. This has been a lot of fun. I know that at least everyone on screen here, we've had a lot of fun this week, kind of putting this together over the last few weeks, actually, putting all of this together and the final touches this week to this webinar. And we're excited because this we're pioneering firsts here. With this whole new COVID, post-COVID world, we are trying to make things work for, just adapt to this new life. And this online fundraising opportunity is this global campaign. It's just an amazing opportunity, and Dolly is behind it 100%. She's this amazing film and the Q&A I've mentioned before, and then of course her first ever live Facebook Live performance. This is going to be amazing, and our team here at SD Pros is growing, and the foundation's team is growing. And this is an exciting time. You got a lot of folks here on your side to help make this a huge, huge success. So take advantage of this opportunity. Make sure, if you're a book or BOS user, make sure that you go to your bulletin board, look at the information, go to your facts. We'll be updating those today and tomorrow until we get all the Q&A added in there that's necessary. And again, thank you all for connecting, and thanks, Jeff, and of course, thanks, Tracy. We're so happy to have you on board, and thanks to my team at SD Pros. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for connecting. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.